I think that's a big strength for them, linebackers in general, outside, inside depth. The one area that I do not have a lot of confidence in is backup offensive line. I think, there's some questions for the starting offensive line, but if they hit what they're supposed to do and do what they're supposed to do, that becomes a good part of their team because I think they'll give Rodgers time. But if there are injuries, I was looking at Dylan Cook here as, one of the key tackle swing guys. I mean, nothing against him. He's
crazy athlete, but just hasn't done it.
No, he hasn't done it. They've had it
Calvin Anderson is an experienced guy who started a lot of games in the NFL. I think he's a good player to have. I think Ryan McCollum is a good guy to have.
Spencer Anderson was a former pick of theirs.
He's a guy that can flip guard spots, and you can even move him out to tackle, and he can play center in an emergency. I think, whereas maybe with Herbig, you had someone that you could plug in for half a season. I think the guys that you have now, maybe for a couple of games, but any longer than that, you're probably looking outside.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that. We talked about wide receiver, and if Roman Wilson isn't the answer, is Jonnu Smith sort of that? We're talking about the word hybrid a lot. That's all we're using here, a lot of these guys. He's a hybrid guy. He plays tight end. He can do a lot, but they can line him up differently. And he's shown the ability to go down the field with yak yards.
He is going to line up wide. It'll be Freiermuth on the line of scrimmage because Jonnu Smith is there to catch the ball, not block. And he's not a great blocker, but he went from 27 catches just 2 years ago to 88 last year. I mean, it's a crazy rise. It's been a meteoric rise for him with his last two teams. They have to have big things from him. They went out and spent a lot in Minka, obviously getting Ramsey back as well, but he's got to have a big year for them, and they've got to open up the middle of the field. I know there was a lot of talk, and Lemus was part of that too. You heard all that talk last year that Arthur Smith doesn't throw it in the middle of the field. Well, they better this year because two of their best three pass catchers are tight ends.
They put up some caution tape there, Jeff, right at the hash marks to make sure nobody would go in between there.
And it was as much Russ maybe as
fearful
it was
of
Arthur.
Making a mistake. Yeah.
So
when Tomlin pounds that into your head a lot, it makes you think. I don't want to. But Rodgers has been pretty good about not making interception mishaps, although the last 2 years he's had two of his worst years in that department.
I think Mike Tomlin and Arthur Smith can pound things into Aaron Rodgers' head. It doesn't mean he's going to listen. and I think that could be a good thing for them. For if he goes rogue a couple of times, even though there'll be a mistake here or there, and could show them, hey, when you play aggressively, look what can happen. That part of me, I'm not. When it first was proposed about Aaron Rodgers, I thought, no way. But the more you hear about it, maybe it's just wishful thinking. I go into it really curious to see how this is going to work.